Hi YouTube, this is Karen, Stepford Escaping. This video is probably going to be it's different than what I've probably done before. Figure, I do want to talk about some other things besides the cult I grew up in. So, the subject of this video is a disorder called dermatillomania. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it. What it is an obsessive picking at the skin. I have that. And it's not just me saying it or making it up. I was actually diagnosed with it. A while ago, I was diagnosed probably around, 2000, I think, was I in Florida then? I can't even remember now, but it was early 2000s, and I was diagnosed with clinical depression, anxiety, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. The obsessive-compulsive disorder, though, wasn't severe. Moderate is what the psychologist said that did the assessment. And part of that disorder for me, how I manifested, is not just the obsessive thoughts and worry, but I also, when I get extremely, upset, anxious, whatever, I pick at my skin. Never used to touch the face, but now, unfortunately, I also do the face, especially recently. And it's probably just because my job is stressful and I hate it. I'm so tired of just working at a job. I mean, if I have to spend another 10 years working, I would really like it to be something that I can enjoy, but I don't know if that'll work, because for us regular folks, when we want to get paid enough to at least not live in our cars, we have to usually take jobs that we can't stand. So I really envy friends of mine who have jobs that they love. I really do. Of course, if my life had been different in my younger years, I probably would be doing a job that I enjoy. But that is water under the bridge. We're not going to go there. So anyway, dermatillomania, like I said, is an obsessive picking of the skin, either with your fingernails or with objects, usually metal objects. And when you have this disorder, even when you're so anxious or upset or whatever has you in a tizzy, it's like you have to do something. You have to do something. So even if there's nothing to pick anywhere, in your mind's eye, you see something that you feel like you have to take care of. And dermatillomania kind of falls in that same category of things like anorexia, because it's about one thing, it's about control. You can't control the world around you and what's happening, so you figure, hey, I'll take control of this. I'll try to perfect the imperfections I see on my skin. And it kind of works the same as people who have to turn a knob 10 times or constantly check a stove. It becomes that obsessive. For example, and it wasn't that long ago, let's say in the recent past, I can't even remember now what I was upset about, but it's like I started picking at something on my face, thinking, oh, this only take a minute. And honestly, when I think back now, it really wasn't anything. It just, anyway, I started picking at it, and it's like you almost go into a trance. So it's like you're doing this, but you don't even realize how much time you're spending. By the time I clicked out of it, and I can't remember what brought me out of it, but something did. And when I checked my phone, like 2 hours had passed. 2 hours. That just is to let you know how obsessive it can be. And I thought maybe I was just a lunatic, just crazy, losing my ever-loving mind. And I recently registered for a webinar at a company called skinpick.com, and they talked about the trances. So I'm like, oh, it's not just me that does that. So yeah, that's part of the disorder. Unfortunately, since I moved out here, I really haven't had money to go see a therapist so that I can get a handle on this again, and it's starting to get out of control again. And where I work now, the insurance is so freaking crappy that I really still can't afford to go. I need to actually start putting more gumption behind my investments, especially the cryptocurrency, because more and more people are starting to do that. So I can start making a little more money, and maybe then I can go to a therapist, because like I said, this is getting really bad. So I'm going to actually have, or try to figure out how to put some photos in here of some of my recent injuries. You can't see them right now because I have foundation on and I covered them up. But my forehead's really bad. Like through here, if I get close enough, you can see them through the foundation, because they're like hard to cover up. Yeah, those look even worse if I take the foundation off. There was one here, but it healed a little. But yeah, the forehead's really bad. Um, and like I said, I didn't used to touch my face, but I've just been really hating my life lately, because I hate my job. I hate being poor, the working poor. I hate that I'm never gonna get married. I'm never gonna have kids. I'm not gonna get to have the life of a normal human being because of how I was raised. Um, and you're taught to just put everything off, because everything, you can have whatever you want in the new system. So I'm just gonna wait for the new system. Yeah, right. Which is never coming. We can see that. That whatever. It's all nonsense. Religion is nonsense. So I have probably been stressed because I've been thinking a lot about that lately. A friend of mine that I used to work with at a radiology place, she just had her third kid. And I'm so happy for her, but I am also jealous, because I will never get to hear some child call me mommy. Ugh, never fight with my teenager. Never get to see my kid grow up, get married, go to school. I'll never get any of that. And I don't think that people in the normal world get how devastating that can be to your life, especially when that's one of the things you have always wanted. I always wanted to be a mom, but it ain't happening. But it's these things that have kicked in the dermatillomania. It's kicked it up a few notches. So trying to get a handle on it. It's hard to do that by yourself. So I know I'm not popular on YouTube. I'm no influencer, no. But if there's anybody out there who might catch this, hopefully with the tags that I'll put in the video, if you have some practical way that you dealt with something like this. It doesn't have to be the skin picking. It could be hair pulling or cutting or whatever you've dealt with. Turn the stove off 50 times or whatever. But if you found a practical way to be able to deal with your obsessive habit and the anxiety that exacerbates it, please leave a comment, leave a private message, because and I'll put I'll put my email in the description if you want to send me a direct email. But I don't know, I need to get a handle on this because it's hideous. It's really bad. And I mean, at least when I just did my arms, I could cover those up. I have scars all over my chest. Like, freaked my new doctor out when she saw all the scarring in the torso area. Yeah, freaked her out. I've never been one to cuts, although I did try it once. I took a razor blade and I put failure in my left thigh. Only letter you can still see is the F. I don't know. I didn't like the whole razor thing. And I know it's weird. Because I look at people who cut and it's like, how can you do that? Because, I didn't like it. I didn't like how it felt. But I'm just as messed up as they are. It's just, I use a different method. So that's what this video is about today. My bout with dermatillomania. And needing to come up with a way to deal with it, since I really can't afford to go to a therapist. So for those of you that are also suffering with things like that out there, I feel for you. I really do. We can get through this together. This world doesn't help because it's just so messed up. People are crazy. But you gotta learn to kind of flick that off so that we can maintain some kind of sanity in this world. So, step of the game, escapee. This is my most recent video for you. I do have a couple other subjects I want to do. I may not do them today, but since I got my face on, which is rare nowadays, I may just have to maybe do a couple more. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Stay safe. I know the vaccines are out there, but still be cautious because those variants are out there, and there's still not a lot of evidence that these vaccines really do fight against those new variants of the COVID. Okay, so please, everybody, just be safe and don't be selfish. I hate wearing a mask too. I absolutely despise it, but I also don't want to be responsible for getting someone else ill. Not so much worried about myself, but I would never want to be responsible for passing something on to someone else. All right? You guys have a good weekend.